Sigma. Yes. What? All right, so let me get in the shot. I'm just gonna make a quick little update video, just going over a couple of things. The first thing, he's done really well out in the yards. He hasn't had any issues, or I should say the play groups with all the dogs. He's been doing well with the little dogs. And then I introduced him to my bigger dogs. I don't know if you can see right over there, my German Shepherd, and then I have another large breed puppy over there. He's been fine with all of those. I feel like maybe I'll see a little bit when we go out and about away from the kennel. Maybe it's just the high number. He's kind of like, oh, I'm not gonna push those boundaries. He has been only eating with me, so the staff next door, they don't feed him every time he takes food. It's gonna be from my hand. I want him to be a little bit more dependent on me, just because he doesn't have a super high food drive. So that way I can kind of harness motivation and motivate him to do the things that I need him to do. So the big one right here, I'm gonna do it here first because I haven't really messed around with it. I've mostly been trying to get him comfortable taking food from me and getting him used to his markers. I'm gonna do a little bit of crate games with him because he definitely does not like to be in the kennel. He gets very vocal, as you know. So before we get into that, his different markers, those, are going to be Sigma, yes, words that mark a moment in time that I like something that he did. And for him, that marker is going to announce the arrival of food. So every time I give a marker, when he does a behavior that I like, I will give him something, I will give him food, some of his food. So through time, an association is created where the marker equals food. So whatever behavior he's doing when he hears the marker, then will take on the good feeling of food. So it's just kind of a bridge between the marker that's delivered and the arrival of food, just in case he comes out of behavior, and I don't want to reward the wrong behavior. So I don't want to create any disassociation. So he has a couple different markers, and each one of them has different meanings as far as expectations with the behavior, with the command. So we have the word yes, we have the word good, we have the word okay, we have the word no. So yes means, I like what you did, come get something from me. He doesn't have to do anything past that yes. So if he walks into the crate, I'll say yes, and he can run back out of the crate to take food from me. I use that one to build enthusiasm and to shape new behaviors. So in the beginning, as soon as he does something I like, I'm like, yeah, I like that, come get food from me. Good and okay, those are going to be more over in our duration building scenarios. So when I lure him into a sit and I want him to remain in the sit, as he goes into sit, I will say good, deliver food, good, deliver food, good, deliver food, to build duration, time that he's in that behavior. Right now it's gonna be pretty like ding, 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 but over time it'll be a little bit more spread out. The frequency won't be as predictable as far as when I say good. So it could be, I put him into a sit, good, treat, and then 3 seconds, good, treat, and then 6 seconds, good, treat, and then 1 second, and so forth. Okay means he can come up out of behavior. So I will say okay, and then I'll move my hand away so he can follow my hand with the treats out of behavior, out of whatever position he was in. Right now, those are going to be paired with food because I want to create that association with the marker and food. But eventually those will be more neutral markers, meaning if I say good, it doesn't mean it always has to be followed with food. But yes, always will be followed with food so that it keeps its value for him. So anytime you use the word yes, you should be prepared to give him some form of reward. No, which I'm not really doing too much right now because I want to really make sure he understands what I'm asking for before I tell him he's doing something wrong. So when I just say the word no, I will apply a little bit of leash pressure. Usually, or I guess what I should say is right now, if I'm luring him to a sit and he pops up out of a sit, I will say no, leash pressure to help guide him back into a sit. We're not quite there yet. So I'm gonna do a little bit of crate games with him. Just, you can see it happen right here. It's the first time we've done it. I'm going to kind of either lure him into the crate, toss food into the crate, for him to go get it, and then I'll use the word yes, just so he can come out of the crate to come get food for me. Just so it's not the feeling of being enclosed and being trapped in there. I want him to just move in and out pretty freely. Then what I'll do is I'll lure him in there, and then when he turns around to come out, I will kind of use my body, my space, to block him, and I'll use that good marker. So I want him to remain in the crate, and then okay, he can come out. So that's kind of showing him that it'll eventually be a behavior where when I say to go into your crate, go into your kennel, that you have to be in there until I come out. So in theory, I want there to be a good association because he's getting rewarded for things, but also expectations of what he's supposed to be doing in there. So we're gonna play around with it, we'll see how it goes. He's not a huge fan of any of the crates. Yes. So he gave a little sniff, so I'll reward that. Just interest. I'm totally here for some curiosity. Yes. Very good. And this is his first meal for the day. It's in the morning. I don't, by the time it uploads, it probably will be later in the day, but it's in the morning. It's his first meal offering. If he refuses food, then I simply just put him up, which the first couple of days there was a little bit of food refusal. Yes, I have been using a mixture of his kibble with another dog's kibble that's a similar brand. He's just not really interested in his food, but he really likes the other kibble. So instead of wasting the first week waiting for him to start eating his food, I've just been kind of mixing them together. So we'll walk him over, toss the treat in. Okay, very nice. And I'll let him come out. No expectations. I want him to just move pretty freely. Great. Great. If he doesn't want to come, that's fine. Okay. Good. And before he moves out, I'm gonna release him. Good boy. Okay. So I'm kind of making it seem like it's on my terms, like, yeah, I said you can come out. I'll help him out. Great. Okay. Yay, good boy. Great. I have a leash on him just so he can't run off and do other things. Yes. But I'm not using any leash pressure to get him to go into the crate. I don't want him to feel forced at all because that'll create that association, yes, that he doesn't like. He's taking food from in there. I want it to be his idea on his terms. Yes. Great. Yes. Great. Okay. He just spit his kibble out, the one that is his food. Great. Okay. Very nice. Great. So when he turns around, I'm going to do, no, good. We're going to feed him in here. Good. Okay. So just really short increments where he stays in. Great. Good. Good. Nope. Good. So right there I just used my space, good, to stop him, to block him from coming out, and I use that no marker, good. Okay. And then I'll guide him out. Very nice. Good job, bud. Very good. Great. Okay. I'm going to switch it up with the duration in there and with him just walking in and out on his own terms. I don't want him to I don't want to get harder and harder and harder and then him get stressed out. Okay. Very nice. Great. Great. Here, we'll try that again. Good. No. Good. Nope. we go, good boy. Out. Very good. All right, so we're gonna end on that because that was really good, and I'll come back and forth to this throughout the day. Crate games alone probably aren't going to just solve the problem, but I do want to at least create a new association with the crate so that I can use it, because anytime I put him in there, whether it's next door or in there, over time he'll settle, but for the most part he's pretty vocal about going in there. Next door he's a little bit better because there's all the other dogs. It's going to be a lot of advocating for, at least for me right now, my space. Like, I'm not going to be overly affectionate with him. I want him to gain confidence with doing things away from me. So we're gonna do a lot of place work where I send him to like a dog bed and he has to remain on there away from me. So that impulse control that is built through that, where regardless of what's going on around him, is gonna help with his spatial independence, where he's not needing to be near somebody. And I'm gonna hold him accountable for things. So he's not gonna be allowed to jump on me. He's not gonna be allowed to yell at me. He's not gonna be allowed to crowd my space, all of those things where I don't want to be seen as a resource. I want him respecting my space and understanding that when I give him something to do, that he has to do it. So that'll be a little bit of a transfer of relationship stuff over to you when you get home, but we'll see how he goes for right now, and getting more comfortable with going into his kennel and being more independent with himself. So he's doing really well so far. Again, he's doing well with all of the dogs, all of the staff. Who have not had any issues with him. We've pretty much only been doing training in the training room for now, while I'm building a little bit of engagement and relationship with him, because he's very unsure of me. He's getting definitely better, but initially he was very unsure of me, didn't want to take food from me. We'll start doing things next door and out front around the building, and then we'll go like to different areas around the neighborhood. So I'll keep you updated. We'll keep sending updates and little video things, and let me know if you have any questions. Right.